Hey, Lori J, here with a genuine question about the global family group because I don't know whether I have been scammed and gave my driver's license to a group that didn't send me any confirmation information once I gave. I know, and it sounds so stupid to say out loud, which is why most people don't go public if they have been scammed. I'm not sure that I have been, but if I have been, I want to know because ultimately I reached out to the one that I gave that information to the group because of, and was gaslit about how crazy I am and how many problems I've got and all of the projections that could really take someone down when someone has learned information about you in the background to be able to better manipulate, which may be completely off. But when you meet someone online that you don't know from another country who claims to have a lot of really cool experiences and projects on the go and a really great story, all of those factors together make it a really compelling story to buy. And then when we do that and they're lies, and we can't fact check because we're not in the country, where the one that claims they're all these great things is, and we have this relationship with someone that alleged to be able to help and saw the value of a public figure, which is what I say of myself, given I post a lot of content. I don't mean to post so much, but I have creative overflow that I just happen to share in the public realm of the online virtual reality space. And I use Telegram largely in order to share it with the Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly group, as well as Facebook and the group Where Misfits Fit, Peaceful Inner Warriors United. So those are my two main sharing places. Meetup.com also has a Peaceful Inner Warriors United group on there. And I have a Patreon account as well that I have one subscriber for, one sponsor, or one Patreon. Thank you, Peter. But honestly, I don't understand why not. But I've had it in my field. I haven't asked, I haven't expressed or demonstrated need. I don't know why I haven't received back support in kind for what I try to offer out in terms of good vibes and upliftment and motivation. And I wonder if you've benefited from all that I've poured out in your time since first experiencing it. And if so, I would really appreciate some love back in turn. And some do, some don't, some won't. Marketing adage says, who cares next? And yet, this is the piece usury of people. I'm publicly calling someone out because this is the only way to do it as evidence in a case. Should I need to say I had internet fraud committed against me? Like, if that is the case, then this is evidence in that case. My files, um, the Mythic Tarot actually is going to be the tarot deck that we use to go through the major arcana of the tarot together in Blackstock on January 26th from 7 till 9. It's actually a public event that is free of charge. So if you did want to come, then you could actually do so. I love cards. Oh my God, and there's so many. The Seven of Cups is the one that I see on top with the Sun and the Five of Wands. So we've also got the Nine of Wands and the Emperor, because the Emperor wore no clothes. And I'm trying to see if this top cat has deceived me and then gaslit me with his partner now that he tried to get me in cahoots making music to uplift my vibration, which he said some really insightful things about the need to stay in a high vibration and sing and delight in my flowers and plants that I love to care for and to create my videos and then just get higher paying people to invest in me, which is very reasonable. And with the network he alleged to have had or does have as the emperor in his realm, I believed him. And then it's like the Nine of Wands, we got into a shipwreck and we're crashing up against the rocks when it's a contained space compared to the freedom that is beyond the rocks. If only we were able to get through the hard knocks and to not take it personally if it is not true. But how else can you actually get through to someone without offering all of your cups and praying to be told which one to choose from your higher self, who actually points it out if you're connected? If you're looking at your higher self, to be able to stand off against a dragon with what resources you have, it's a battle for certain, but at the end of it is the sun. And this is where we see that we are the one that came here to say, look, we are the players on the playing field of life. If we lie to one another in order to make some profits at their expense, by stealing identities to tap trusts that the general public didn't know about, so they didn't know you were being an absolute douche, in order to steal information to create false identities and profit off of them without someone's knowledge, if that's the case, that's just terrible karma. And if it's not the case, then I would love to be told that I am wrong by someone other than the one that is saying I've got so many issues because I was so candid that I've gone through a tremendous amount while not charging for my services because I just gave with love. And now it's like a new turn. King of Swords. I know my value. I am the scales as a Libran. And the sword of the sacred word means that I am going to offer you the best that I've got at the time that I've got it, which is why you've got over 1,100 videos available on my channel, Laura J.E. Hamilton, where this is. And that's what all of my social media accounts are under for as long as I'm able to be in the public, because ultimately there is a mixed war going on between the public and the private. The public is ultimately what is inside of that wall that y'all are gonna bring a bunch of swords into with pillars toppled outside of it to be a page on the ram with the fire contained on a torch. The Five of Pentacles, leaving behind that which was planted in order to then step into the Six, which is the next, which is progression, which is exciting, and then asking for what you want and being prepared to get the Wheel of Life, the Wheel of Fortune with the Queen of Wands, as the one who has tamed the beast within, who has her torch burning bright with the lion, willing to let the weavers of fate do their duty, their role. And then we sit back as the Queen of Swords, who triumphs over the devil to have the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. with a tower moment and judgment at the bottom, a 6 of swords under that, and the 10 of cups then when we come into unity, and the 9 of cups under that, which is still a beautiful card of coming together right before the actual union with friends celebrating. Oh, yay, there's going to be a wedding, right? King of Cups and the 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Swords, rather. Wow. I love tarot cards. Each of the cards have meaning. Did you know? These are all minor arcana cards. The Empress is the major, who's with the 2 of Pentacles, where we get to choose what we will use on the table. What is on the table? The 8 of Pentacles. So that means we've got a battle in order for the magician to use all of the minor arcana suits in order to call on the highest power of the highest self of the magician calling the shots in their own life. This is the author who has authority to actually be in the office of man as well as stand on common ground with others who are alive in this space to tell our story. So the Hierophant is the hero of the hero who has been working on behalf of the devil, which is why he's half man and half other. The Fant is the other. Holy wow. And the 4 of Wands is when one is listening and the torch and light of others are helping to support his message that this ship no longer needs to seize us who are alive to stand on our own lands with the rainbow all around. The Ace of Pentacles as a new monetary system that will not be crypto, which is secret or hidden in nature. And the 2 of Wands that leaves the half man, half other behind in order to step into the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, both messengers of news, one blowing the smoke of the wind with the sword in hand in the mountains below, those mountains being all of the manor houses, that the Knight of Pentacles is bringing word of abundance from the Hanged Man's weight, while he became the keeper of all. The 5 of Pentacles, or the 5 of Swords, which is conflict in a mental way, and the 6 of Cups, where she has moved out of conflict and is now looking at all she has and enjoying one cup at a time, because that's all we can do. As the Queen of Pentacles unites with the King of Wands, and the fight between money and heart. Holy wow. Yes, somehow the Queen of Pentacles says that the King of Wands must permit the unity of both. So we have heart and abundance in the relationships that we bring together in unity. So that's what I am declaring as the one named after the laurel tree, which was the crown of victory the people would wear into town in order to show as a sign or a symbol that victory was here, the 6 of Pentacles. We need not revere any special, just one. Just because I am speaking now doesn't mean you got to look at me as the King of Cups, but instead to see the 7 of Pentacles being offered to the one that went through taming their own inner lion, as the cat behind the camera now starts to go wild. And the 5, the 3, the 4, the Queen of Cups, 2 of Cups. Lots of cups right here. My cat decided to turn it over as the high priestess stands on the King of Wands and the star. There's more, but major and minor arcana are ultimately the way that we actually can love all aspects of ourselves instead of just the hues. So I do believe it is time for us to be more whole and to see that somehow the half the deck got put in upside down, which gives it another meaning, which is why oh my, there is a superconscious, a subconscious, a supraconscious, and a conscious. Those minds are the way we find ourselves to be real in this world. We're going to get into it. The cat's going crazy. I'm running out of battery, or out of space on my computer, rather. So here we go. Have a great day. And check out my message from yesterday where I asked the questions in a sung form as to who else has got connected with the global family group. What was your experience? And have you actually benefited or received the benefit that you were told you would get by doing the thing, which was giving your private information in a public private space that is a centralized domain that is only known by its name by a few who can just quietly work between a silent network that ultimately deceives a lot of people who then feel really silly for doing what we all know we should not do in order to sign a declaration that would actually bound us to a corporation to then be bound to under a different nation state, which is the incorporated way we have to wait for our highest gifts, because now we're limited, and it really does come back down to the hero, which is the hero. We are where we need to be. It's true, you see. Don't you see that I am the one in my own life who came here to be nice to myself? Should I return? If I come back, I wanna know I did all I can do to be my best, and I hope that you will say the same. Have you done your work and carried the paperwork that you were implied to be? Yes, you see, we are the ones. We came here to be fully, and so you'll see that we are here to turn the light on one another. Do you trust me to guide you through this? There we go. Okay, so now that I've flipped my hair about a few times, now I'll go about and try not to make too many rhymes. I like it, and so I play with language. The way we were meant to, sensuality. Oh, can you see we are the ones who came here to become more? Our body is a reflection of the energetic body around us, called our auric field. Oh, if you'll yield to someone else to wear the crown of your corona, that's when you'll see that someone else will be the fake light coming down to say you're bound to me. Well, when I got trained as a soul realignment practitioner in 2013, I learned the dangers of making contracts, vows, curses, oaths, spells, all of the way we contract our expanded state to fit into a land of hate where we are told to wait for the agent who can speak for us, even if we aren't there. If we say they can tell our story, well, what the hell? That makes no sense. I am here to tell my story. So why would I trust anyone to get it right when they don't know the details in the context that I do? No one can see the world as you do because we all see it through the lens that we use to see the world through, shaped on our experience and everything we've learned along our journey. And if we step out of our normal territory, well, then you see we find things that we wouldn't have if we had stayed doing the same old, same old. Well, what is that, and why would you stay here when you could create a world that we came here to birth together? Which is how a boat moves. Well, I say let's join a new ship or create one that actually will keep the Emerald Kingdom out. And we can instead see the lotus flower in the new orderly world we're creating together. The laurel crown is what comes down on us when we come into town to say we're victorious because we grounded the new frequency that we came here to bring about. So let us do what others said would be impossible when agent was speaking for the I am that makes us the third person in the trifecta or the trinity where we have been put to the bottom to look up to a rescuer or agent to save us from the bully villain, the villain who listens to the dog at the top. The top dog calls the shots, top cat too, if you want to see it that way. It's an inside joke, the one it's referring to will get. So I've got questions about those who may not be true. But I do not know, and I did not say the name of the one. I think about it this way because of the way the false light made themselves seem bright like Lucifer does, who was the brightest star up in the line of angels of God's team before he descended and fell into temptation and got stuck here because vibrationally he couldn't find his way out. If we lose too much of our energy to entities in the identities we take from the places where we have got them from, then we get stuck here with them. When what will we be stuck back with if the thing we believe in is just an idea that accrued energy because we gave ours to it and so felt powerless when they had so much power we'd given it to them and created a chord there that's just one entity, and it took up my hand and arm that's not carrying weapons, nor will I say we upon anymore. Do you see how the arms of weapons are how we become the pawns in another man's war? We can stand and defend the lands we stand on and say, I will not kill mine enemy or anyone. I need no attachments to those who would fall because they did something wrong. And there's a lot of evil assuredly here, but what I say this for is that our perception of anyone is based on our model of the world as theirs is too, and depending on what energies are inside will determine what's outside. Because if we'll not move the energy in us, it will be a denial. I didn't even notice I am lying about. So let's change that by choosing to remove the doubt. 2:55 on January 17th. And I've sung a beautiful song. And to at least one, it would seem very pointed, because it was, energetically, because I have questions. I signed up for family group. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, I think that's the best way. How do I find it? How do I find it? How do I find it? Here it is. I could not see it because it. This is true. Children are the world's most valuable resource, and its best hope for the future. John F. Kennedy. Is truly trying to be the hero who would not screw someone over with the global family group. I hope this is said to be connected to Anna von Reitz's movement. That's what I was told when I was sent here by the top cat. Now I can't even see how to go to the place where I put my driver's license in. I know, so stupid. I would not recommend doing that in this world of scammers. So If you've been approached by the family group, I'd love to know what your experience has been. Please do share. It will help others to make an informed choice about whether to share details of the legal person, a third person pronoun, the position that says the word under one who is able to use the equity in the trust that we have in our name with the capitalized T. For when we trusted the platform we signed up on, well, we were then encased in false light, thinking we were protected when the Vatican can take the equity of the third person who lost their place in their own story when an agent did defend the corpse at the expense of us who came from the all and can remain in our private game. The XYZ of the energy making up the 888. Why wait to get to the top when we can see all of the ways that his story has repeated itself by using the same system in the game? The liege lord is at the top, the lord's under that. The vassals, who are the holders of title, which means they've got the positioning. And then the fiefs, serfs, and villains, villeins, would have to do the bindings of all those on top of them in order to keep their lowly position as the fief defined by the property they were sworn to through their indenturement documents. Those serfs are dear as the masculine noun, I do believe. We'll have to check another time, but I will let you get on with leaving comments down below to let me know what arose for you as we go. Oh, I'd love to know if you have been able to listen to this, and if you actually enjoy my song. I'd love to know, and if you don't, if you're still watching now, well then shame on you for going against what you don't like. But if you're honest with yourself, you might say that it felt well, because this song is meant to dispel these spells you've been captivated by. That's 6 more minutes than I meant to go when I saw it was 5-5, so I'm gonna go now. That was fun.